Hello there, my fellow Cybertronians. Welcome back to the Ginger Transformer podcast. This is your host, Mega Ginge. Today, we're going to be talking about the UK collected Marvel comic, Fallen Angel. And this is basically a full Galvatron comic. It's brilliant. Because let's face it, we have all the Galvatron goodness going around knocking the shit out of everyone. So, once again, these are the collected comics. They're not actually like all in a row, all in order. There's in order as they got for when they were republished. Now, ironically, though the entire thing is called Fallen Angel, only the first two comics in it are actually called Fallen Angel, as comics 101 and 102 of the Marvel UK comics. What Galvatron did their live is 113 and 114, Burning Skies 115, 116, Hunters is 117, 118. Again, where this is going. Fire on High is 119, 120, with the final of that just being one of the Transformers annuals to finish off the saga, which is, I can't remember if I already made this observation, so I'll make it now. That's just stupid. See, if you're just going to call, Fallen Angel was two separate stories, right? Call it like Burning Sky or something. Just like the rest of all the comics, Burning Sky parts 1 through like 9 or something. Well, 8, because the other one was an annual, fair enough. But why? This is basically an 8-parter. We're just going to, every couple of episodes, change the name. There's no point. At least to me, there was no point. I mean, you're still reading the same thing anyway. I didn't even realise that Hasbro did that when it came to the comics, because it was just when I was rereading it to do these podcasts, I noticed that's Fallen Angel, that's Burning Sky, that's what the hell, why? And it's not the first time to do it either. But without further ado, Fallen Angel, let's see. We've basically got Galvatron returns to the past, or, the present from our perspective, or at least the perspective at that point, because at the end of Transformers movie, yes, the events just kept going the way they usually do after 2006 and Return to the Future. He was tortured by Unicron, then the movie events kept going and he was defeated by Rodimus Prime. He chucked him at Unicron. Unlike the Generation 1 cartoons though, Galvatron wasn't found buried in a lava bath. He still had his time jump control and boosted. That's much Back to the Future is back to the past, present, whatever. Anyway, he ends up replacing Skids. Poor Skids. That's basically the last you see of him for a long time. It's like Time Wars, because Galvatron, he didn't go home. But he lands on Earth. He's confused, he's hurt, but he isn't instantly violent, But unfortunately, there's Centurion. Do you remember Centurion from Dinobot Hunt? Now he's still wandering about, hanging out with the Dinobots. He sees him, he thinks it's like a shooting star or something. Galvatron promptly rips Centurion apart. That's like the basic point. That's the point of interest of the entire Fallen Angel couple of comics is the death of Centurion, destruction of Centurion, whatever. He's destroyed, he's ripped to pieces by Galvatron. Galvatron's thinking it's Rodimus Prime, fair enough. He didn't realise who he was, and when he comes to his senses, he's like, well, how sad. But he's got the ire of the Dinobots at this point, because Centurion was an ally. Skids, who's guiding some newly earthbound Autobots, Blaster, Perceptor, and their entourage, he's guiding them to the Ark, but he disappears because Galvatron's time jumped. So they're pretty much lost. They lock onto the closest signal they can find, which is Galvatron. Unfortunately, Galvatron sees the insignia and starts shooting, because Autobots. And Blaster and co are not doing very well until, quite frankly, the Dinobots turn up and go, "You killed our friend. Your ass is ours." The Dinobots, to be fair, don't fare all that much better. They do better than Blaster on that, but this is Galvatron we're talking about. They still get their asses handed to them. Now, Shockwave at this point, he can see what's happening. He's got some sort of intelligence or spy drone or something over there having a look-see, and he sees Galvatron's back and he's on a fucking murderous rampage. So he does the unthinkable and says, right, we have to go help the Autobots, or this guy will take my leadership. But it's really to help us all. In the meantime, the Autobots have been pounded to death, and Centurions, I don't know, what would you call him? Centurion wasn't sentient, but the guy behind the sentient, Professor Morris, he speaks to Swoop through Centurion's now dismembered head and says, yeah, it's me, I didn't want to tell you for obvious reasons. If you read Dinobot Hunt, you'll know what the reasons are. And he's like, yeah, so anyway, let me take your body over again. Just this once. Swoop's very resistant to it. He's like, that's fine, I offered you a chance to, fight again, because obviously you're too injured to do it, and you just watch all your friends die one by one. Swoop being Swoop, he just decides, fuck it, why not? And decides to attack, Centurion and Swoop as one. And he's actually not doing too well. He does better than the others. Still didn't do too well against Galvatron. It is Galvatron, but he does better than the others. And the thing is, in his pterodactyl mode, he's got the big beak. He's going right for the face. He's going right for the face. And I'm sitting going, maybe that's maybe what you should have done in the first place. Go straight for Galvatron's face. I mean, he's sitting like that, fighting him off. He's unable to do anything because Swoop's going right in for the face. And that's when the Decepticons show up, led by Shockwave, and start charging down a hill at him, shooting Galvatron. He's like, what the hell? So he ends up retreating. Because, he's not going to shoot his own future troops, is he? The Autobots and Decepticons says basically part company. Because it's like, we're all too screwed too tired after a fight with Galvatron. So, and that's it. That's Fallen Angel. The rest is the actual main story, but none of it comes under the actual thing of Fallen Angel. Weird. So the only point of interest there really was Centurion's destruction, if I'm completely honest. Wanted Galvatron dead or alive, first two parts of this saga. We're introduced to Death's Head. Yes, I love that guy. Freelance peacekeeping agent, but for a fair financial fee or something like that. Bounty hunter. But you don't call him a bounty hunter. Deathhead does not like the words bounty hunter. Freelance peacekeeping agent. And we've got this wee droid in the bar telling him about all this in the future. This is in the future at this point. Telling about how Rodimus kicked Galvatron's ass. But now with the resurgence of the Decepticons and Cybertron, he doesn't have time to look for Galvatron, so he feels bad that he didn't just kill him inside Unicron. Which I always thought, you should have done it, mate. You had the upper hand. But he's an Autobot, so he wouldn't do it. And that's for comic and G1. I think he should have done it. And that's why Rodimus has asked Bounty Hunters to do a list for him, because he has to. He doesn't have the time anymore on Cybertron with this war renewed against Shockwave and the Decepticons. Yes, Shockwave's leader there too. After that, he goes off to look for Cyclonus and Scourge, fights them to standstill. He pummels them, which is rare to see, if I'm completely honest. He pummels them. And they eventually say, listen, we don't know where he is, but we can take a guess. And so off he goes into the past. Rodimus, through a spy, another UK Transformer character created, Nautilus, he tells him, by the way, your plans backfired a little bit. We've got a Psycho Hunter after Galvatron now. In the past, where things could go major F up. So Rodimus and the guys are like, right, we need to go back and sort this. So Rodimus, Prime, Cup, and Blurgo, wreck Gargos as well. Basically, he just kind of enters stage left, or stage right, or whatever direction it was. And he goes with them by accident. Now here's the thing, you don't see who they replace in this little saga. Because usually you see, Galvatron, Cyclonus, and Scourge originally replaced Prime, Prowl, and Ratchet. And when the Autobots came back, they replaced Thundercracker, Shockwave, and Rumble or Frenzy. But you saw who they replaced. And in Fallen Angel, you saw Galvatron replace Skids. You don't see who these four replace, which is a first. Anyway, they go back to help, basically. That's wanted Galvatron dead or alive then. We're now into Burning Sky. Ultra Magnus, having recently been stranded on Earth. I heard of that in the last podcast, until you'll know why. He's there, and he's just enjoying the peace and quiet, until something explodes and starts burning down a lot of trees, and then he hears, help, help, help. We're introduced to another human character called Cindy, and he saves him, and then she starts to, I think she has a wee fancy, if I'm completely honest, for Ultra Magnus. He goes around, he saves him, he knocks down all the trees that are on fire, only for Cindy to turn up again crying, saying, no, he was like you, I thought he was like you, blah, blah, blah. So I told him your name, and that's when he went kind of, wee. And, before he even turned the page, she's talking about Galvatron. And he's like, well, who did you tell? Who did you tell? Me. Ultra Magnus turns around, he's like, oh, shit. Because obviously he's fought him before, and he got wiped. And it happens again. Second part Burning Sky, we've basically got, Galvatron just whooping him. And then Ultra Magnus thinks, right, I've left Cindy in a burning forest to die, just to, ironically, take Galvatron away from her in case he killed her. So he leathers the living piss out of Galvatron, goes to find Cindy, then he pauses, he freezes, like Ultra Magnus always does. He's like, should I just finish him now? should I save the human? Galvatron at this point gets back up, turns out I can't, shot him in the back and starts leathering him again. But don't get me wrong, Cindy's alright. Cindy's last to the end of the comic. I don't think you ever see human death in the comics. Like those ones anyway. So anyway, in Hunters, we have Death's Head. He's now back in time. He's looking for information on where Galvatron could be. Hits the Decepticon base in the day and goes after Soundwave. Who calls him Bounty Hunter Scum? Well then, you know where that's going. Soundwave gives up the location because he's pretty much a dead man if he doesn't. Death's Head, he's very skilled at what he does. Very skilled. We also find Bumblebee is unfortunately destroyed by Death's Head as well when he first arrives, which kind of sucks. And Wreck-Gar basically finds the wreckage of him and turns him into Goldbug. Kind of answering a question from the US comics, because one day he's Bumblebee, the next day he's Goldbug. There's no explanation in the US comics, it just happens. I think it's one of the changes in the UK comics that was actually, adapted for the US comics, because, he did. I mean, they fix it. Goldbug's destroyed again at some point in the US comics, and he's rebuilt as the Pretender Bumblebee again. So, it's fixed. But yeah, Wreck-Gar fixes him. Then, Fire on High, right? Fire on High, here we go. We've got, at this point, Ultra Magnus and Goldbug from our time. They've got Wreck-Gar, Cup, Blur, and Rodimus Prime from the future, all now up against Galvatron, who is ringed this giant energy siphon thing around the top of the volcano. He's going to set off, detonate, destroy most of the west coast of America, or east coast, I can't remember, through all the erupting volcano chains and turn himself basically into a god. They all have to stop him doing that, and they come up with this convoluted plan. We're going to take his time device from him, which they do, and we're going to rewire it with the time device that we have and try to forcibly send us all back together. Unfortunately, this requires everyone to basically go up against Galvatron while this is being done. Cup and Blur take him on, and Goldbug takes him on, and Ultra Magnus takes him on. Rodimus eventually takes him on. Meanwhile, in the background, Wreck-Gar's got the devices. You try dinging them so we can cobble them together and get them all back to their time. Forcibly return Galvatron to where he has to go. And in the end, eventually, after they've all been beaten to a pulp, yes, they're able to do it. Galvatron's not stupid. He rigged it so that no matter what happened, he would stay. Ultra Magnus has been badly damaged. Goldbug is basically the only operational left to fight Galvatron. And Galvatron already let him go once after the fight because he's like, "You're beneath me. Get." So he goes after Galvatron and he's tired. After admonishing Ultra Magnus, who just went, "No, I'm done. I can't do it. I'm sorry. No more." And I'm sorry, the guy's been pounded like 4 off of Galvatron. Heavy beatings between Dark 2006 and this point. So, of course, he's not going to want to go up against him again. But he gets admonished by Goldbug. He tells him, no, we're all of us. This is what we fucking do. So he goes up against him. He gets bitch slapped. His words were enough to shake Magnus out of his funk. Galvatron's sitting going, How? How are you still alive? I threw you in a fucking volcano. How are you still alive? No, he held onto the ledge. He was good. You should really double check your kills, Galvatron. And he just goes after him. He's like, "How many times I have to kill you?" He just starts leathering him again and again. He's like, "Must you die? And at this point, the volcano is going to explode, but the power siphon thing has been damaged. So when it explodes, it ain't going to take out all of America, but that volcano is going to go. So Ultra Magnus basically says to Bumblebee, "Get out of here, go, leave, save yourself." That's an order. Goldbug goes, and Galvatron's sitting going, "I've won, I'll kill you, fuck you." And Magnus is like, "Yeah, you might have won, but quite frankly, this victory is going to cost you." The volcano explodes, and as far as you're aware, that's it. Galvatron and Ultra Magnus are dead. I think it's going to be that fucking easy to get rid of Galvatron. But that's pretty much the whole comic there. I'm not going to say it's not one of my favourites. There's not a lot of memorable stuff. You can remember the important stuff out of these comics, but the in-between crap kind of falls by the wayside. It doesn't stick, It's like, for example, Cindy had friends. I don't know what they were called. You know my stance on humans and Transformer stuff anyway. But don't worry, next time we are going to be checking out a different comic. It's the Legacy of Unicron, so it's mostly set in the future, but it's one of my personal favourites of mine. So hopefully you're looking forward to it, and we'll see you again next time.